Welcome into another edition of the 615 Sessions podcast here on the A to Z Sports Podcast Network. Happy Friday to everybody out there. Welcome back to another week of Titans football discussion. Know we had the bye week off. Hope you guys enjoyed your time away as much as I did. Today you're going to hear a part of a conversation I had with Titans linebacker Daivd Long on my radio show. You're also going to hear from Naquan Jones, who I talked to for a little bit in the locker room today as we're taping this on Friday. Colts week coming up. It's always a big deal. Get to some mailbag questions as well. We haven't done the mailbag in a while, and since I've had some DMs piling up, I figure we go ahead and empty them out. But in the meantime, I'll tell you that the place you go for the best possible car buying experience, that's Two Rivers Ford. They have now 2023 model year Fords available on the dealership, and they have so many great ways to shop, so many easy ways to shop. You can go online, check out their full inventory for yourself, tworiversford.com. You can custom order your next Ford the way that I did at tworiversford.com while you're there. You can call one of their non-commissioned salespeople. My guy was Jonathan Whittlick. He was great. 1-800-900-1000. That's a real easy number. Or just go to the dealership in Mount Juliet, and they will give you the kind of award-winning customer service that they have been known for. Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet. Custom order your next Ford from Two Rivers Ford. All right, you're going to hear a bit. Well, let's do this first before we do Daivd Long. Injury updates. So I'm looking at the injury report for both of these teams right now. And the Colts one is decidedly longer than the Titans one. They have ruled out in Indianapolis Kwity Paye, Shaq Leonard, and JoJo Domann, a linebacker for the Colts. DeForest Buckner is going to be healthy. He's going to play. Sounds like Jonathan Taylor is maybe not fully healthy, but he was a full participant the last 2 days of practice. Seems like he's going to give it a go. For the Titans, no Nate Davis, no Torrey Carter, no Joe Jones, no Zach Cunningham. That Nate Davis one is big, kids, because that means not only did he need to miss the Commanders game with this nagging foot thing, didn't get right over the bye, and is going to miss a 3rd straight week that way. So whatever it is, you hope that it's not something that continues to fester, I guess, throughout the course of the season. Not bad enough or not significant enough to put him on injured reserve, obviously, but, you know, he's your best offensive lineman. And looks like Dylan Radunz going to get another run on the right side. Now, the thing that popped out to me after we had left practice today on Friday is that Kyle Phillips, not on the injury report all week long until today, and now he's listed as limited in Friday's practice, questionable for the game with a hamstring injury. So I don't know what this offense is going to look like on Sunday against the Colts. I don't know. I mean, I do know who's going to play wide receiver because they're only out of so many bodies, or they only got so many bodies, and it's fair to assume that Des Fitzpatrick again will get the call up from the practice squad. Now, how they continue to manage the situation going forward, as they are at least without Treylon Burks for the next 3 games. Remember, 4 games on IR once you're placed on IR. Where Racing McMath is in his recovery, not good enough yet to be designated to return. That still hasn't happened. So who's to say? This game's going to be a lot better than I think it was the last time around. And for all the ways that the Colts have improved, getting their offensive line right, Dennis Kelly starting for them at left tackle. I'm sure that triggers a lot of you, given your own left tackle struggles so far this year, and Matt Ryan getting rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds an attempt on average, which is an outrageous rate of speed. It's also how the Colts basically had to play offense with Philip Rivers when he was their quarterback at the time. Looks like they've diverted back to that kind of a situation. So we'll talk to Daivd Long, and we'll see how this game plays out. We'll do some Music City mailbag questions momentarily, but first, here is the Titans starting inside linebacker.
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. How's the energy around there? I haven't been over there this week for practice. How we living?
Oh, no, the energy's good, man. Everybody's pumped. I mean, feeling good after the bye week. You know, everybody got to wait for a little bit, you know. Just good to get back, get back into work.
So when you guys have a funky practice schedule like that, because I know you guys came in on Monday, did a little work, maybe nothing crazy as you get ready for your normalized week. But what's that kind of look like as far as what you guys are working on? Does it adjust your schedule at all as far as, we're doing red zone on this day, we're doing third down on that day, stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, other than the weekend started a little earlier, on Monday, and then, everybody trying to get back into the groove, from being away from so long. It's pretty much the same schedule. I mean, he tried to, work us back into the week, not too fast, but also, still still getting some work in. But it's the same, and then it's easier, when everybody's in a good mood, just ready to get after it.
So, I mean, does it actually feel like a long time away? I know you guys spend so much time together throughout the course of the.
Not at all.
That's what I'm saying,
like
man.
2 days. It felt like 2 days. It went too fast, but it's always good to get back around, the guys. Everybody like family in here, so and it ain't too hard.
No question. I mean, the importance though, Daivd, of just that, like, however brief it ends up being, to mentally reset. I feel like a little bit when you're in the thick of it, and you feel. I imagine that you guys are living, sleeping, breathing this stuff the way that. Football teams go into the preparation of it. But just to be able to mentally reset like that, I feel like that has to be huge for you guys.
Oh, no, for sure. Just that's what he tells us. Like, get away. Get away from here. I don't even want you to think about it. And me, I'm gonna get away. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna go with family.
Yeah.
Or whatever that may be. Just to release my mind, relax my mind. Just because it's a lot, and this is a long stretch. We about to go on. So, we just had to take advantage of that. That short break.
Titans linebacker Daivd Long here with us on 104.5 The Zone before they hit the practice field for day 2, or I guess day 3 of on-field work. So you guys are getting it sounds like you guys are starting to get a little healthier. Obviously the bye helping. Amani, great news to see him clearing concussion protocol. We talked to Bud yesterday, and it seems like he's feeling right. The job, though, Daivd, that you guys have done with all the different parts and pieces, and I know that's not new stuff for you. It's been basically a season and a half of that throughout the course of the last couple of years. But what can you say about the job that the defense has done collectively, even though you're missing some key guys?
I think we've done a great job as far as people stepping up. We've even Ant and a couple other guys just stepping up. And producing. When their name is called. Because it's going to be those times where somebody goes down and a person that hasn't had much experience out there got to be ready to play. Against one of the and it's the league. It's going to be some guys out there. So, no matter where you from or where you was drafted or whatever that may be, you just got to be ready to play. And I think we've done a good job of that, this year.
To take from one game to another, is it an entirely different experience?
Yeah, I mean, it's always, one of our team keys is to stop the run. That's week in and week out. That's one of our defensive keys, and we did a very good job in stopping the run the first game. And I think I want to hold myself, accountable, and I want to challenge everybody else in the room to even do better than what we did last time. I don't remember exactly how many rushing yards they had, but going into each game, we try to set the limit at 100. And if we can do anything under 100, it's exceptional. But we want to, week in, week out, just keep challenging ourselves.
You wasn't much above 50. I remember that 2.1. So where specifically, I know, generally you want to challenge the group. Is there anywhere specifically you're looking to kind of, no pun intended, but tighten up things?
Yeah, kind of just, eliminate the X plays. We talk about, we do such a great job of, locking in and, fixing everything that we, struggle with. And I think a big thing we've struggled with so far is just allowing X plays. If we take away those, and we're completely, cutting offenses in half. So I feel like we just got to eliminate those plays and make a team one-dimensional. At that point, it helps us out a lot.
For your guys' group, how big is it? You want everybody back that you can have, but how big is it to get Bud back and kind of get things back more up to speed?
Even without Bud being on the field, he brings so much energy that it's electric and it's contagious. Everybody, feeds off his energy, and a healthier group is a better group, in my eyes. So I feel like having him back, having everybody back is huge.
Appreciate it, man.
Got some mailbag questions to go through, but before we do that, I am going to remind you that Superbook Sports is the place that you go to wager on football, baseball, basketball, hockey. It's all happening right now at this time of year, and Superbook Sports is your place to get in on that action. You can take the fight right to Vegas. No odds makers,
from across the pond, setting lines for American sports. Just the best group of odds makers in the Superbook at Las Vegas on the Strip. You can take the fight to them. You can get in on the action today with your first bet. They'll match it at Superbook up to $1,000, win or lose. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. And don't forget that terms and conditions can be found at superbook.com. So, couple of questions here in the mailbag. We haven't done the mailbag in a while. Probably ought to get back to it. Let's go with Ian Meldrum at Ian_Titan on Instagram. Remember, if you want to send these to me, by the way, we can do them at the end of the podcast. We haven't done them in a long time, but I figure we can get back to this since you guys send them to me enough. At Buck Reising on Instagram. Send them in my DMs. They'll make the pot on Friday. The best ones will make the pot on Friday. Can't do them all. Morning, he says, as it's here afternoon, Buck. Oh, I wonder where he is messaging us from. You do a lot of Titans games on the road. Have you done either Lambeau Field or Arrowhead? I do. I go to all the Titans games on the road as a part of my capacity with Titans Radio and what I do with 104.5 The Zone. So I have not done Lambeau. They've played there, but it was during 2020 in the COVID year, and so I didn't make the trip. They will play there again this coming November, as a matter of fact. Thursday Night Football is at Green Bay, and that will be a pretty good experience. Now, provided that the weather is not miserable, because Green Bay, Wisconsin in November, probably going to deal with a fair bit of snow. But I'm looking forward to it. Historic Lambeau, historic for a reason. A lot of great, rich tradition around that stadium and what it means to the landscape of the NFL. Done Arrowhead, twice now. AFC Championship game in 19, and then the playoff game there in 2017. I don't think I've done every other regular season game. I think they've played in Nashville, but I have done Arrowhead, and Arrowhead is wild. I mean, it certainly was, because both of those atmospheres were playoff atmospheres, and Chiefs fans are incredible. I thoroughly enjoyed that atmosphere that they had out going on there. Just between the tailgate lots, everybody was lovely. I mean, their team wins all the time. Why wouldn't they be? Except after the 17 game where the Titans beat the Chiefs. They were still pretty diplomatic, I thought. Blake Bowman on Instagram says, where is Ugo Amadi? Seems like he's healthy now, but was inactive against the Commanders. Our secondary seemed better with him at slot and McCreary outside. Well, Ugo was out against the Commanders. I don't think that's accurate. I'd have to go back and look at my injury reports from a couple of weeks ago, but I'm pretty sure Ugo was ruled out for that game. So not a healthy scratch, but he's somebody that I think is going to play in the slot this weekend. I mean, I would anticipate, if he's healthy, that he's your starting slot corner, or at least he'll be your part-time starting slot corner. And in certain defenses, when they play nickel, he'll be in the slot. When they play dime, they may move him off the field in favor of somebody else. They've done that a couple of different times. Josh Kalu is the third safety in that look. Caleb Farley plays in dime, or at least he did at the start of the season. I don't know if they'll still do that, given the way that Caleb struggled. But, yeah, I think Ugo Amadi should be on track to play. That's going to do it for the mailbag this week. In fact, there were a couple more. They were a little dated. So we'll see if we can't do this on a more regular, recurring basis. We'll see if we can't make this happen and get your guys' question. Oh, one more. I'm sorry. Oh. It's from a guy named Cheeseburger who calls the show, calls the radio show. He wants he says, hey, it's me, Evan Cheeseburger. Can I get on one of those T-shirts too? And one of the T-shirts that he's referring to is we decided to rename the radio show from the Buck Reising Show to the Butt Reising Show. And people have been making a lot of jokes about that. And in fact, one listener to the radio show even DM'd us with some custom T-shirt designs that she has since sent to the station. So if you want a Butt Reising T-shirt, I'll be sure to get them out post haste, because I know that'd sell better than regular merch. Anyway, love you guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. We'll talk about it next week, certainly, right here on the 615 Sessions.